special.
What is my head doing?
Suck on my fat dick. Suck on my fat
All right.
dick. Lick on my nuts.
That sound means that it's time for Star Wars.
Yep.
That song.
It's Bracho's lyrics.
Bracho lyrics. What is that?
That is, ouch. Let's
Is that a reactor core?
Some kind of...
it kind of is.
Nice.
See what happens when we jump into it.
Ooh,
Just a big rolling pin.
Yeah, big electrified rolly
flattened.
pin. Let's not
Suck
do
on my
that again.
shaft, suck on my big reactor.
Let's see. Where do we go again? We go this way.
Do you guys believe
Yes.
that Kathleen Kennedy's probably going to be stepping down?
Oh, I believe it.
Do you for one, do you
In the
wish
near-
that,
in the-
wish that happens?
Kinda. Like she
When
kinda.
she took over, she kind of had to like rush things, so it's kind of like the fault
Yeah.
of like Disney to like
Disney.
appoint her to
Yeah.
do that position.
It was.
'Cause she's a great producer. She produced a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, because we heard from the Bob Iger book that he took blame for the Star Wars stuff because he felt pressure from the shareholders or whatever, the board members, whatever, to deliver
They just acquired it.
on
Why
Star
not
Wars
take like
because they spent so much money on it that they wanted to like earn money back like as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
but
they-
they get toy sales? Like just stop, like play it for a little while, like let it just flow.
Yep. So
Come up
like
with a plan
how much
before
like
you dive right into it.
how much of the blame falls on Kennedy or not, I don't know.
Everybody thinks she's like the one to like since
Blame
she's
because she's,
I mean-
to be fair, when you're the head of a like division,
You kind of take the blame.
the fault is always on you, right? Because it's
Yeah.
whatever happens under your purview.
yeah.
So it is your fault that way. How much of it was actually her, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure from the fan base probably and the shareholders for sure because
Yep.
they're like, we gotta make our money back.
Yep.
But like, honestly, I think the audience, in contrast to the shareholders, would have been like, yeah, take your time. I want a really good product.
Well, yeah.
Like I like a lot of stuff that Disney has produced in the past. Like I love fucking Aladdin. I love a ton of their old
of
classics.
course.
But when it comes to Star Wars, like it's something that's beloved.
They rushed
Take your
it.
time. Take your time.
They
It's
really should have
something-
taken their time.
It's and I think they did
a
feel
lot of
pressure
Star
from
Wars fans are.
too.
Well, I'm sure they felt pressure, but
'Cause
they
as
should
soon
have
as
like
they knew
planned
as
something
soon
out.
as- as soon
'cause
as they'd
Star Wars
announced-
fans are just like canon detectives.
Yeah.
Like if something doesn't make sense, they're gonna find it right away.
I knew like I'm sure they knew as soon as people found out that they bought Star Wars that meant that they were going to make more movies. So they probably were just like, okay, if this goes through, we're gonna go into fucking movie making mode. We just spent an ass ton of money on it. We're gonna get hella pressure from fans as well to deliver something new. Let's just fucking go.
The second they did that though, like Mickey Mouse started putting on a Jedi robe and
Yeah.
other cartoons that were on
Yeah.
Disney Channel started like incorporating Star Wars into
Yep.
their storylines. Like, they're like,
Not
oh,
one.
They did
That
that with
one
Marvel too.
photo of George Lucas, like next to Mickey. He just looks so dead in that picture. I felt so
They had,
bad.
Jedi too.
They had, because I remember, like, the Avengers show up in, like, an episode of Phineas and Ferb or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, the Phineas and Ferb, they did the Star Wars also.
Yeah, I'm sure. Popular series. It's a good series.
Actually hitting him.
So you're not
Oh,
The guys who made
shaking his finger at you when you zoom in.
the guys who made that series, made Phineas and Ferb, worked on, I think, Rocco, and
that explains the quality.
I think some SpongeBob, like early SpongeBob as well.
Okay.
Holy shit!
But yeah, that's
He did.
that explains why there's a Disney cartoon that's actually good. Disney cartoons usually, you know what I mean? Like Disney shows usually fall on the side of clearly just like, oh, this is for kids, so we're not going to put much thought into it.
No, like I really enjoyed
But
the.
Phineas and Ferb definitely does.
I really like the new DuckTales.
Yeah, that's good too. People
There we
give a
go.
shit. When people give a shit, and also put faith in their audience.
Well, their cartoons used to be good. I mean,
It'd be good.
original DuckTales and Gargoyles was
Dude,
Disney,
the
wasn't
OG,
it?
like that Disney afternoon lineup or whatever, the
Yep.
DuckTales,
Recess.
Chip and Dale, fucking.
Recess.
I'm talking before that though. I'm talking
Before that?
Tailspin,
Yeah, Tailspin.
DuckTales, Darkwing
Darkwing
Duck.
Duck. Holy moly.
Chip and Dale. I said Chip and Dale.
You did.
Fucking. Yeah, we said Tailspin. Like all that shit was so good.
Goof Troop.
And then Goof Troop. And then like they had animated series for like some of their movies too. Like the Aladdin cartoon was pretty tight.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Hercules wasn't bad.
We had Little Mermaid one.
Little Mermaid, there, yep. And Recess, yeah, like you said, fucking Recess was the shit.
Recess.
My brain works in chronological order, that's why I had to like wait for Recess. I was like, yep, just wait a second. My brain's trying to work
But who?
chronologically.
I was reading or watching somebody talk about this Kathleen Kennedy situation.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's something that the fan base, I guess, wants because it's always talked about with like diehard
Well, like
fans.
the Never Disney crowd.
That's me.
Yeah,
It's
but
very,
like,
it's very like pro get the fuck rid of Kennedy. And I
people
mean,
are
I
really
don't.
rooting for Filoni though. They want the
Yes.
Filoni verse. They want Filoni to tell his stories
Yeah.
because he has original stories to tell.
Let Filoni be the Feige. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, he worked.
At the very
him
least,
and,
Filoni Favreau.
Him and George Lucas like worked
With
together
oversight from
every day
Lucas.
almost on Clone Wars.
With
so
oversight from Lucas.
Oh yeah.
well, yeah,
Well, that's where the
Lucas
benefit
was-
comes, right? Is because he has a good relationship with George.
And Lucas was there almost every single day to like help out.
Yeah.
I think when they did the Mando, like Lucas was there talking to Dave, and like he kind of just lets Dave
Yeah,
go.
he just lets shit happen because
he
Favreau.
gives some input.
Was it
with-
you that was talking about? Yeah, you were talking about when Favreau was trying to show him that fucking blaster that looked like the thing from the cartoon
Yeah,
and
the
the
Christmas
holiday
special?
special, and he was just like, I didn't create it. Like he's
Yeah.
just there.
That's nothing I came.
You know
up
what I
with.
mean? Like he doesn't like.
He gets the homage and
Yeah.
the homage, but he's like, I don't really care. Like,
It's one of those things that if something, he's more one of those people where I think like if something was really off, then he might say something, but that's about it. Otherwise, he'll just be like,
I wouldn't be like all proud of. Oh fuck.
you almost made it.
I wouldn't be super proud of something from the holiday special and show George Lucas because George
true.
Lucas has said like
That's true.
if I had a sledgehammer I'd smash every
yeah,
single
that's
copy.
true.
So
But yeah, like-
I just would not show him anything like from the holiday special. Like,
That's kind of-
remember
that's
this?
kind
This
of
is like
mocking
your
him, yeah.
greatest embarrassment.
I'm,
Do you remember this? You fucking idiot!
I'm less anti Kennedy than I am pro Filoni. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm not
Like,
anti-Kennedy,
I'm not, like,
but I'm like pro Filoni letting him like thrive and do his own stuff.
Be the Feige.
Like Kennedy, give him some space. Like,
Yeah.
Give him a couple lanes to work in.
Yeah, like she, like I said, I don't. There's so much stuff that goes on between studios and
Always did.
investors and fucking all that shit that I don't know who's really to blame for a bunch of shit. But her track record hasn't been great
As far as this new
as
acquisition.
far as the movies. Personal opinion. I mean, I've enjoyed a couple. Like I liked Rogue One, and I enjoyed a little bit Han Solo, like a little bit.
Dish bit. Well, I hate when
It was fun.
Miller-
It was a fun movie, and like, well, yeah, the I would have rathered the
initial directors?
initial version. Yes.
Speaking of controversial movies, or not really controversial, but like liking them is controversial. My dad's starting to like the DC movies.
Good.
Like he told me like
Not all
he's
bad.
every time he rewatches Batman versus Superman, he finds more things to like about it.
That's interesting. At least he's giving it a shot. You know?
Yeah, and he's
Other
like-
people just watch it once and they're like, stupid.
And he straight up told me like I think the reason why I didn't like it the first time was because it was so much different from Marvel, and I was like, well, yeah, it's DC.
It's not the same thing.
That's good.
But that's just it. It's like that was
thought
a
I
lot of
killed that
people's
guy.
expectations with those movies, is people had the
Yep.
Marvel shit so
Yep.
in their head
And I
that
think that's why they got Joss Whedon to
Oh, yeah, 100%
do all those reshoots. They're like,
He-
we need to we need to
did.
Marvelize it.
he did Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers 2. Two massive movies.
Yep. God damn it.
What was it?
God damn it.
But yeah, so like I could see her stepping down at some point in the future. But
It'd be in great hands with Filoni and
But
Favreau.
the only
But she is giving them the space to work with Mandalorian and tell.
Oh yeah.
Dave
And if
Filoni's
there's
story.
anybody that you're gonna give space to do shit, it's Filoni.
That's why I'm jazzed.
He made
for-
people care about clones.
Yeah, which is pretty difficult after
He
the
made me care
second
about
movie.
Jar Jar.
Made you care about Jar Jar. He made
Like-
Jar Jar a good character.
Yeah.
He fucking
Redeem the jar.
yeah. He made a compelling character out of fucking Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of just he looked cool.
Oh, I'm out of force points.
So, like, oh, you're dead now. Oh, that guy
That
just
guy
like.
just suicided.
I don't like this. Bye.
Oh, he just hit the ground.
But if you saw him get up and just like brush it off and walk away.
Right.
The question I have then is if I'm for Kennedy being or leaving, if it's not Filoni taking over,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
then
Yeah, it's
Hard to
better to stay with the devil.
she
you
at
know,
least
kind
has
of deal.
familiarity with the brand, right?
Yeah, she's already in it. Like,
Yeah. I mean that's it. It's like if Filoni's taking over, yep, I'm cool. If it's somebody else, then I'm scared, right?
yeah, and I heard something. I don't know if it's true, but George is like being handed some stuff to work on.
Yeah, I heard that rumor too.
I don't know what exactly, and maybe it is just like
It's a sequel trilogy he
Contemplative.
wanted to make.
That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
well, what I'm sure he has a bunch of stories that he could tell within the lore that don't apply to like the main story of the prophecy.
Oh yeah, dude. If you had George doing fucking color, like universe color,
Oh sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
like
Giving some dash of Mrs. Dash.
yeah, just fleshing out the universe. If you give him that, I'm cool with it.
Because I want to see another Lucas dialogue-driven story or narrative
Yeah.
with like his
Yeah.
vernacular, coming through, where it's just
That
all
prequel vernacular.
yeah, well,
Always like George's storytelling. His dialogue.
We always have
needs
to
punching
remember
up, but
the original trilogy
oh damn, I don't want to
were
go that
not
way.
George's words.
No, that's
No,
what I'm
no, no,
saying.
no,
He,
like-
he needs someone to punch up the dialogue
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
George
his
George,
story ideas and
George
his
had the
imagination
stories.
is just solid.
You ain't never heard of the one in Falcon?
He had the story, and then people like fucking Cassie Boy went in there
He's like, George, we gotta
and
like
then made it an
make this
actual script,
understandable.
and then other people
I hope
directed
that
it
wasn't
too.
the guy with the
I
skinny
get
arm.
what Lucas was doing. He was like trying to make it so foreign to people that were watching it, like the
Yeah.
first Star Wars when it came out, before it was even called like A New Hope. He was just like, this is just gonna be something crazy that nobody's ever seen, and people talk in this weird
Oh, yeah, dude.
language that like they're talking about these technical terms for machines that we as the audience have no idea like what they do and like why they need them.
If you can track down the Dark Horse adaptation of the original Star Wars script, it's pretty fucking tight.
Yeah.
It's just called The Star Wars because that's what it was originally called, and it uses like George's original script idea plus Macquarie's initial designs,
Where'd the
for
corpse
everything?
go?
like early designs for stuff. It's really interesting. When you have Old Man General Luke Skywalker and Anakin Starkiller is like the younger dude, and everybody's got lightsabers.
Yeah, it's not just like a Jedi thing.
Yeah, Vader is like not all fucked up, and he's
Can you
also,
see how that would have been like something that was initially in George's mind as like Jedi were soldiers in the first iteration, and then the prequels they're like they're keepers of the
Monks,
peace
yeah.
and monks. I can see that because like when you think of Jedi Knights, like
Yeah.
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father. When he says stuff like that,
Yep.
you're supposed to believe like, oh, these were like the Knights of the Round Table, so of
Yeah.
course they're gonna have futuristic swords. And that's what lightsabers were. It wasn't like at that point it wasn't like a cultish kind of thing. It was just like
Yeah.
an order of guys that got together and they had a laser sword.
Yeah.
You didn't think of them anything else. Like, well, maybe when Lars says like, when Owen Lars says like, oh, that crazy old wizard or something.
Yeah. It's not until the next two where it really kind of
It becomes more lore driven with
more
like,
spiritual.
what's the Jedi mean?
Yeah, it's
I
more
think in the first iteration was just that. Like, he could have like had everybody have a sword during the Clone Wars or something like that.
Yeah.
When he makes mention of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like how they. I
just
don't know
love-
if George included it, but vibro swords.
Yeah.
I mean, they're vibro axes.
I just love that George is fucking.
Dude, George is fucking.
Yeah, George is fucking. No, George just like puts out this idea of the Clone Wars without like any idea of what it actually was. Or
It's a
anything.
big part of the story.
And then he came back to it. It was like, all right, now we got to do the Clone Wars. What the fuck is this?
We said it in the first movie. We talked about just a little bit in like one little line of dialogue.
I got it. We'll clone Boba Fett's dad a bunch. And also
Whoa, you're
Boba
doing
Fett's
sweet
a
tricks.
clone.
Sweet tricks.
Sweet tricks.
All right, we'll be back with more sweet tricks.
Sweet tricks right when we get back.
Bye.
On the Star Wars special